Hello, party people. We're back. What's up, Doc?
What's going on, Jen? You doing all right?
I'm good, man. I'm just ready to get into this review. We saw Supergirl over the weekend. I know Dion saw it as well. So let's just get right into this. What was your initial reaction when you first saw it?
My initial reaction was I thought it was okay. I'm not gonna say I thought it was a great movie.
Hey,
I'm
Derpy.
not gonna even compare it to Superman. Hey, Derpy, I'm not gonna even compare it to Superman, but I thought it was okay. And you already know the reason why I thought that because of the comparison of the comic book to the movie. I read the comic book before I watched the movie,
And I
and
have
I
not.
really thought they were gonna kind of stick to it, but they didn't. And we'll get into it. But overall, I thought it was an okay movie. My wife really, really liked it. She really enjoyed it. And she was like, well, what do you think? I said, it was some differences. They took
Mhm.
some creative liberties. But overall, I thought it was an okay movie. And I do want people to go and see it for themselves and
Absolutely.
judge it for themselves because I thought the young lady, she did a wonderful job. Both of these young ladies did a wonderful job playing their respective characters. I keep forgetting her name. The young lady from Dragons, from House of Dragons. I keep forgetting her real name. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah.
the young lady that plays Supergirl, she did excellent. And the young lady that played the bereaved, she did a great job. Of course, Jason Momoa did a wonderful job as
Loved
Lobo.
her. She like
And the guy who played Krim, he did an excellent job being a piece of crap. Because I
I
hated him from the moment he walked on the screen.
Um, I know who that actor is. His first name is Matthias. I forget his last name, but I've seen him in a couple of things, and each time I've seen him, I'm always just blown away by his performance. So when I found out he was going to be Krem, I went, "Ooh,
And
yay!"
he played that part. He really played that
Yeah,
part.
no, like Matthias for me is one of those actors that is really under the radar, but then when he pops up, you're like, "Oh, yes, he's in this. Oh,
I'm
he's
gonna
gonna
try to
kill
say his name. I'm gonna
it."
try to say his name.
Matthias.
Matthias Scornarts. I know I screwed that up. I apologize if you ever watch this show. I'm sorry. I tried, but yeah, he
Oh
did an
yeah.
excellent job as Krim. Like
Oh,
really, he
he's so
really did a good
good.
job. I mean, the movie was straight. The special effects were good. I enjoyed it, but like I said, there were some differences, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, and then Derpy, who's joining us today. Thanks for dropping in, man. It was okay. Exactly. Then there's just that are hateful
Oh
to.
yeah, most definitely. Yeah,
Oh
we're
yeah,
going to talk about that too.
we're gonna touch on it. No worries.
And I guarantee you, those people who are that way, I bet they didn't read the comic book either.
That's the thing. Like this is why. Like we talk about this. I don't give my initial reaction after
Oh,
this.
he's so cute.
We love crypto.
He's so cute.
Team crypto forever. Um, we talk about this all the time, especially with Star Wars, because the universe is ever expanding. Is there are some stories you're just gonna have to do your homework. I chose not to read the comic book before the movie because I didn't want to have all of that head knowledge in because I wanted to enjoy the ride. So I'm happy you know the original content and I don't because we can give a little bit of two different perspectives. But now that I've watched it, I'm definitely gonna go read the comic because I want to see what the original material is.
Yeah.
Um, but we say that all the time. You know, one, use the source material. That's why it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And two, you know, sometimes you're just gonna have to do your homework. You know, and the other thing too, I think, is we don't know what James Gunn is setting up for because I sat to the end of the credits. He gave nothing.
No, he didn't.
He's keeping the cards to his chest. I'm like, you're not gonna give us one thing?
See that, and that also makes me curious. So we get the Ghostface, Clayface movie in October, right?
Yes, we do.
So we already know all of this stuff ties into the whole DC universe, and I'm curious to know if we are going to sit through the end of that film to the very end and still not get anything as far as a reveal for Batman. You see where I'm going with this one?
Yeah, no, I think honestly, compared to Marvel, that's going to be an interesting tactic on his part because to your point, it's making me curious. Like, well,
Yep.
what are you doing?
What are you doing, my
What
guy?
right? Because like with Masters of the Universe, we got two end credit scenes. They
Yep.
they pulled a Marvel. So
And you would think, and I noticed something too. who directed this. James Gunn didn't direct this film,
He did not. That was
but
the other thing.
it seemed very James Gunn esque. It
Well,
kind of
remember,
reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
well, it's she wore. I think if I'm not mistaken, she's wearing the exact same headset as Peter Quill. Because I was like, isn't that Peter's headset?
Okay,
I
well,
think it's the same one.
it was giving that vibe
Yeah.
because she wasn't on Earth the entire time. She
No.
was traveling the galaxy. So I get it.
The only time she's on Earth, and for people who watching this is spoiler heavy today.
Oh yeah, spoiler heavy. Just had to let you know
Spoiler heavy.
because we jump right into this thing real hot.
Oh yeah, we do. No, because the only time she goes to Earth is at the end of the film.
Yeah,
when she's like, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to stay.
yeah,
Before that, she's going to all sorts of other planets.
yes, and
So
and to her, defense is to get drunk because
her birthday, man.
she feels like she has nobody. And we talking about a young lady who watched her family literally die, or the only little small planet she has ever known, because she didn't know Krypton.
Nope.
She just knew of the little planet that her father just so happened to create this bubble.
Basically, like just one remaining piece of Krypton.
Yep, of Krypton.
Surrounded in a bubble.
Yep.
That was just floating in the galaxy.
And then I think another thing what made her even more upset, and I know we're jumping to the film, is when she got to Earth and Clark couldn't even speak Krypton.
Kryptonian,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He couldn't even speak Kryptonian. He was just like, I know you don't understand me. Why am I speaking louder? So like, yeah, that's a great point.
It was just Clark. I actually love that scene because he was just Clark being friendly, wanted to be helpful, and he's just going on and on and on and on without saying, he goes, "You're not understanding a thing that I'm saying." Okay, but you will.
And he's still talking. Yeah, he's still talking. But the fact that like she had to go through all of that, so I get her wanting to go and get drunk on her birthday, 100%.
Well, you know what? And we'll say this, if you have a lot of triggers dealing with family grief, family loss, loss in general on a broad spectrum, please be warned that you may get triggered in here. I know I was a few times, but I handled okay. Because I was really surprised. Well, let me go back. My initial reaction was, having not reading the comic book beforehand, I actually really enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the story, what we got. Matthias, your character, Krem, you did a fabulous job because since you hurt the dog and I'm a pet owner, you are on the list. You are on the list, sir, for every pet owner who watches your performance. So well done. I loved all of the casting from Jason to this young woman to the younger
Millie Alcock. That's her name.
Lillian.
Millie Alcock. Yes.
Yeah, Lily. And then the
Millie
with
an M.
Nilly,
with
thank
M.
you. Nilly. And then the can you find out who that other younger actress was?
Her name is Eve Ridley.
I loved Eve in this movie.
Especially her little speech every time she was like, attention.
I am.
Yeah.
I love the moment with Nilly where she's like when she's talking to Lobo, she's like mouthing the monologue behind her.
Yeah.
Where they're at the bar. For me, Miss Eve was a standout character. She was my favorite character of the whole movie. For me, I loved everyone's performance, but for me, I had a soft spot for her. I was just like really like, I'm gonna join you in your endeavor.
Quest.
Yes, I will come up with a D&D character and quest with you.
Yeah.
I really loved her. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the film. For what was displayed, having not knowing the original comic book, but like I said, I'm going to go read it now to to find out what the source material is now that I've seen it. So Doc, I know that you said this was very different from the comic book. Can you go through the differences between the comic book and the film?
Yeah, and I mean, and I know we already said it's gonna be spoiler heavy, but it's gonna be spoiler heavy for you too, Jen, because I know you want to read the comic book.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm good.
Okay, so one of the main differences that people were talking about, and I of course I noticed as well, the movie comes from the perspective of Supergirl herself. And in the book, the perspective is of the young lady who's trying to go get revenge on of for her family.
Yes.
Um, and I would have loved to have seen what they would have done with the young lady's perspective of trying
Mm,
to find someone to help her go and essentially kill Krim
like
because
a
that's
lot,
what she set
like
out to do.
like a longer journey of that.
Yes, that's what I wanted to see because it was like, boom, family dead, boom, she just popped up, and then all of a sudden, it's Supergirl. It was not like that for her. The journey was longer than that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I know why they did the POV of Supergirl because it's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It's her movie, right?
Right.
And of course, I know a lot of people probably did not take the time to read the comic book. You know what I'm saying? Which is
Unless
fine. It's perfectly fine.
it's we talked about this beforehand in other shows when we were doing our reviews to all of the trailers that came out for this film. You're going to have the percentage of people who are comic book nerds and they already have read the comic book, they have it in their collection. Then there's the other percentage of people that are going to read the comic book before the movie. And then there's another percentage of people where they're just not going to do anything. They're just going to go in and either love it or hate it. If they hate it, they're going to let you know that they hate it.
Now I'm gonna respond to a comment by Derpy. He
Go
said
for it.
he said he read the comic book and honestly he what he got, he was
Yeah,
satisfied. I totally get that. I was satisfied. I didn't say the movie was a bad movie.
it's not.
It's just I wanted to see how much of the source material they would stick to. And
Hmm.
I understand they did certain things in the movie that wasn't in the comic book to appease the crowd. And I get that because you're trying to get people in. You're trying to get people to buy back into DC as being, one of the top superheroes. You come and see us before you
They
go
have
see anybody
they have
else.
to compete with Marvel somehow. They have
Yeah.
to, and James knows that.
Yeah, and that's fine. Second, one of the major spoiler people, one of the major things that stuck
Spoiler
out to
heavy
me
review.
immediately was Krim in the comic book did not kill her entire family. He only killed her dad in the comic book. And and I understand why he put like why whomever wrote the script and everything put the entire family in there because it makes it more devastating for this
Oh,
journey for her to go after this guy for
you want
killing
to
her entire
connect with the
family.
character,
Yes, so
and
I get that,
mhm.
and that's perfectly fine. What? How did you feel in that moment? I know you said some of this stuff might be triggering, but in that moment when her brother like jumps out and he's trying to scare his little sister, you know what I'm
just
saying? He's doing
just
what
be
brothers do,
just being a
and get a
brother.
and get an axe in the back. Man,
Just
I hated Krim from the moment he sat down and asked for that pie. I was upset with that dude.
like honestly, to your point, he was just being a teenage older brother having a moment. He has his headset on and then sees
Mm-hmm.
his sister standing and looking at something, but then he failed to read her expression like, wait,
Mm-hmm.
why is she standing there like that? She doesn't look happy. She doesn't look like she's being nosy and kind of giggly, like sneaking up on mom and dad. Like
Mm-hmm.
she actually looks petrified. Why does my sister look petrified? He was just being a teenager. So I think for me, having not read the comic book and now learning that that whole thing is actually different, just from only the father, and that her journey is longer. I think for me, I think it still pulled off really well,
Mm-hmm.
with with the amount of time we got with that. But yeah, no, that for me that was a very triggering moment because watching her family basically literally getting taken out by this guy with her brother getting an
Mm-hmm.
axe in the back, and then just how quick and ruthless he was, like his her parents, unfortunately, because of his skill set, had no chance, unfortunately. So that was another thing too, like having a moment of where she's completely powerless, she has no control, and just seeing all this happen in front of her literally in a matter of seconds, and they're gone,
Mm-hmm.
and they burn her house down, and all that's left is just one sword.
Yep.
That's complete devastation. And then I feel for her, and I'm jumping ahead here, but there's a moment where I think it's at the end where Supergirl grabs her and holds her, and she just cries.
Mm-hmm.
And everything she says the whole time in the theater, I'm like, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
know. Yeah, yeah, I know. I know.
No, the
I
acting
know.
was really good in the film. So
Yeah.
if anybody get on here and say anything about the acting, we gonna have a problem. The acting was really good in the film. Like I said, both of these young ladies did an excellent job. Another thing, Superman was not mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, and I sometimes I forget stuff, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Superman was mentioned in the entire book. So his presence being in the movie, that's new. Which it was welcome. I didn't have a problem with it because she needed to know somebody because she did come to Earth after you know
It's
Superman.
it's what I call with other IPs we discuss, it's that connective tissue because it has to
Hmm.
connect to what James is doing. So for me, now knowing that, that just means like that's just how I'm gonna look at it. It's like, okay, he put some connective tissue in there for what he's
Yeah.
building and how things are gonna connect because um I think sometimes with certain IPs, there are certain things that are good as a standalone, but depending how you're building to what you're going to, in some areas you really can't sacrifice that to where you
So
need.
this is going to be one that you don't see coming. So in the comic book, Supergirl has a horse that she flies around on named Comet.
We didn't get the horse, James,
And
Mr. Gunn.
that's one of my favorite parts of the comic book is her horse because of the bond she develops with the horse
So she has a dog named Crypto, and then she has a horse named Comet.
that flies.
Ah, Mr. Gunn, sir. Hi.
Now, I would tell you something about Comet, but I want you to read the comic book and find it out for yourself
Okay.
because your jaw is probably going to hit the ground like mine did.
Oh my gosh. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So, wow. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Of course, you already know Lobo was nowhere,
Oh, yeah. No.
not even around the comic book
No, no. Which
in the
we
comic.
discussed with both trailers when we got the announcement
Yes.
that Momoa was gonna be Lobo. We're like, wait,
So
what?
the addition of Lobo, I get why they had added him. I mean, Jason
Yeah.
Momoa, one of the biggest names in the film today, a
He
really
is.
good actor.
He's basically.
He's the big guy. He can be the big good guy or he can be the big bad guy. This one, he was Lobo, and
Through and
anybody who knows anything about Lobo, DC Comics is he's considered a cosmic cockroach. Just this is what they call this guy
Yep.
because just a little drip of his blood, it will replicate, and basically it's another clone of him. You know what I'm saying? Which I'd be like, man, don't ever stab him, don't ever cut him. I
Nope.
mean, and he is, by all accounts, the most he's a ruthless POS. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he
And
is.
that's just Lobo. Um,
I
like I
love.
said, we're talking about a guy who killed his entire planet.
I loved the laugh when he's on the bike.
Oh yeah, when he's on his bike, and the fact when the other guy picked up his motorcycle and got on it to got ready to ride it, he was like, "Oh, you just effed up." You know what I'm saying? And can I say this too? Warning for people who are taking their children to see this film. There is profanity, so prepare yourself. Don't come out mad. You've been warned here.
I'm gonna add one more. I'm gonna add one more thing. There's a lot of dark content that children shouldn't watch, especially if you have daughters.
Yes.
So if you bring your daughter to this film and come out angry, you should have done your homework first.
Yeah, but it's still a good film.
Yes.
Like I said, if your babies are mature, I'm pretty sure they will be able to handle this content because
get a baby.
And it's good. It's good. It's good. But Lobo wasn't in the comic book, but he was in this film, and I didn't mind. I did not mind that Lobo was in this film.
He fit into the vibe because when you think about it, because we talk about this with DC, especially with Daredevil and approaching Spider-Man. There's so many other characters that are actually around during these events. It's like, they're out there, they're doing stuff. So I can see how you can actually make this make sense where he just happens to
Be
roll
in the same area.
be in the same area and be like, nah, I gotta take that guy out. That guy
Yep.
did something to me, and I'm taking like it makes
Or
sense.
it's not even the guy did something to him. That guy is worth a lot of money. I need his head so I can take it back to
That
these
too.
people and get my money. Like
I think he
that's the only
actually
reason
says
I'm
that.
here.
I think he actually says that, doesn't he? It's like, nah,
Yeah.
I want the money.
Yeah. So
Yes,
we all know movies have a certain time limit. This whole entire journey
you have to
of
condense it down.
Supergirl, this whole entire journey of Supergirl, it doesn't take place within 3 days.
Nope.
The entire journey from beginning to end, it takes like centuries, like decades before she hunts down Krim. Like it took a very long time to hunt Krim down. And then I'm gonna end it with this.
Okay.
Well, I really don't want to spoil it for you.
No, go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
I really want to.
No. Say it. Say it. Say it.
So, are you sure?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, because I want you to read it. And like you're
We
saying,
are doing a review. The people need to understand. Come on.
I'm only gonna say this. Do y'all think Supergirl would or would not kill Krim at the end?
She doesn't?
You got to read the comic book. For all the people that didn't read the comic book, I suggest y'all go read the comic book. Because something happens at the end of the comic book that wasn't shown in the movie as well.
Ooh.
And it has to do with Krim and
so
the
a
young lady.
completely different ending of the comic book we didn't get in the film.
Yes. Yeah. Which I'm hoping maybe when they release on DVD or streaming or whatever, hopefully they have an alternate ending, and maybe they show the ending that was in the comic book versus what they had in theaters. But just know the ending of the comic book and the movie are completely different.
I'm wondering what else hit the cut room floor.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I'm pretty sure it was a lot.
Like,
but
this would definitely for me be a film that if they ever wanted to do a director's cut or an extended edition, I would actually want to see it.
I would too. I would love to see the extended edition. Y'all got me going back and watching the extended editions of Lord of the Rings. Believe it or not, haven't I watched them? I did not watch them.
That's the
so I got to go back and watch the extended editions.
That's the correct way to watch it.
So my plan for this coming weekend is Lord of the Rings marathon.
Hey.
And I've seen all of them at least 7 times. I've seen all of them.
But you haven't seen the extended edition.
So yeah. And it's like, man, and then I gotta go and my plan was to watch Rings of Power too, just to get caught back up, with what's going on.
I gotta put that in the books for me personally to rewatch both those seasons before we get number 3 that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get ready for that too. Oh my god!
But let me say something. Millie Alcock, she did a really good job as Supergirl.
We love you.
She gave you the emotion. She gave you the comedy. She gave you what you needed to have for Supergirl. And for this Supergirl in particular, like I said, who literally she's dealing with grief herself on her birthday, and then this young lady comes in. Then Big Boy tried to punk her and take her sword. She was like, "Nah, we can't let that happen." You know what I'm saying?
You know what I loved? The scene where, that guy where he tries to take the sword. She goes, "You're taking a sword from a kid,
right? Who just lost her entire family,
right?" And the way she's just like, "Okay," like taking full advantage that people are like giving her
underestimated. Yes,
underestimating her. She goes, "Okay," and then right, and there's
grabs the horns of this whatever he was riding,
right?
Kicks this dude off of his animal or whatever.
I think
and proceeds to whoop his tail.
I love that detail and how she played that throughout the whole film, wherever she walks in the environment, and they know they're looking at her like, she's just a girl. She ain't gonna do nothing. Then wham, pam, pap, and like taking everybody.
Not just a girl. She was like, "Oh, she's a little girl. Like she's small. Like who can she hurt?" You know what I'm saying?
She's very petite. I love those moments. I'm like, you're.
Oh yeah.
I was trying so hard not to laugh loud in the theater. Um, yeah, no, that scene was great. And then the one where she's on the space bus where that little
Mm-hmm.
ragtag team comes in and it's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. She's like, okay, let me
Yeah.
go to the yellow sun and get healed up and I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
I will have to say this, like to what you were saying about her performance, that silent scream in space.
Yeah. That I think that got a lot of people.
You saw her neck
Yeah.
and how, like, I don't know how they did that. I don't know if she really screamed and they take
Oh,
it
she
out.
probably did.
But that's what I'm like. I had a thought because there's also a technique called pantomime with acting
Mm-hmm.
where you can pantomime certain things where I'm sure that if you practice, you could find a way to use your body to make it seem like you're screaming when you're not. So I don't know if she did like an actual scream and they took that out in editing, or if she did like a pantomime technique and just like sold it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
But whatever it was, that moment right there,
all that
it
hit.
spoke volumes because I was thinking to myself, man, had she screamed on that little planet she was on, everybody eardrums would have been burst.
You know what? That's a very good point. Like why she did that
That's
because
why she went to space to do it because this you can't hear any sound in space. At
no,
least I don't know because hell, I ain't been up there. We don't know what we can hear in space when we get up there.
well, there's nothing in the comic books about Superman using a scream out of grief and it has a reaction to something, does it?
No,
Okay.
no,
But
Superman. When Superman had grief, he went and rewound time and
that's
brought his
true.
woman back to life. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
he,
He
he,
he,
he
he had
he was like,
the
no,
earth went
this ain't this
he
ain't
went
it.
nope. Let me get
Yep,
in.
he rewound time. He
Rewound
made the Earth go backwards on his
backwards.
axis to bring his woman back. So yeah, ain't no screaming.
Yeah. No, that scene really hit for me and I was just really impacted by her performance in that moment. It's so powerful.
Yeah.
The other, the other thing was like all of the different alien species that we got to
Mm-hmm.
see with all the practical on a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
actors. I was so happy to see that again.
Yeah.
And that there was definite different languages between the alien species, and you had people translating,
Mm-hmm.
and the other thing, like if she happened to knew what they were saying, there was no translation. It was just like she can talk to. It's like that big alien that she was using that type of
Yeah.
yell. She's like, you insulted her mother by calling her mother a whore by putting the bag on the
Mm-hmm.
floor. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the thing though. Um, with okay, so how can I say it? Okay, so with Supergirl, what I did love, I love that it I love that it was her story. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? And
yes.
I get what people are saying from the comic book is really not Supergirl story. It's really the young lady's story, young Ruthie's story
So
of
they
her
flipped.
journey
So
of
they
yeah,
flipped
of
it.
her it's yeah, because it's her journey of trying to go and get revenge for her dad. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I like that they made it Supergirl story because guess what? A lot of people who don't read the comic books don't know Supergirl story. You know what I'm
True.
saying? So
Very true.
this is a good introduction to get to know Supergirl. If you haven't watched any of the TV shows or read any of the comic books, at least from my perspective.
Yeah. No, I would agree because it I, going into this blind the way I did, because we got to see more of Supergirl's story and her backstory and what happened to Krypton, and then learning she was born, I think 6 or 8 years later.
8 years after Krypton had been destroyed.
Right. So I was like, oh, because that's where I was like, oh, wait. So my information has been wrong. I always thought she was older than Clark. She's actually younger than Clark. I for some reason all these years I thought
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. So Supergirl is older than Clark.
so in comic book lore she is.
Yes,
They
she is.
changed it in the film.
She's the older cousin. Yeah.
Okay, so they changed it in the film for the story that they were telling. Okay, got it.
Um,
Mhm.
I think she's like 10 years older than Clark.
That's what I thought because Clark's a baby, and she had to be like a teenager when Krypton uh,
Mm-hmm.
goes kaput from the core out. um, but yeah, no, the fact that we actually got to see more of her story in this universe, what happened to the planet, how a piece of the planet survived. we got to see her parents, that is Jarrell's brother, and how basically they're all like, no one listened to them because they were warning them what was happening with their
Mm-hmm.
planet's core, and which is why the entire planet doesn't survive because no one took them
No
seriously.
one took things serious. Yeah.
And then and how basically, the rest of their species does go out is because some elements of the kryptonite got into the soil,
Mm-hmm. Got
um,
into the soil,
and,
and yeah.
and worked its way up and started spreading this
But
code.
my thing, what I guess to my surprisement, that's
Yes,
not a word, but it
it
is
is
to me.
now for All Star fans.
To
Surprisement.
my surprisement, why didn't she die? She didn't die because she ate the same food her mom and dad ate. She ate the same food everybody on in that little bubble ate. So why
Well,
didn't she die from the kryptonite poisoning?
I think there was maybe some areas of exposure because remember when she was playing with her dad as a child, he fell in the water and he
Mm-hmm.
got
Yeah,
drenched.
he got drenched in whatever that water was.
Got drenched. Yeah, and then I'm wondering if like there was some type of interaction that people happened to like touch or I don't know, something to where they were getting in contact with it
I
somehow.
have I have a theory, and I
What's
don't
your
know if this
theory?
would be the place to go to, but
Go for it.
biologically, perhaps she was already immune to kryptonite, but that doesn't make sense because the dude shoots her with a kryptonite arrow, with three of them, as a matter of fact. But
Well,
the only way I would think of that is because the kryptonite infection is already in her dad's bloodstream and her mom's bloodstream before she was born.
well, no, I could agree with that to a point because I would think what Krem did, he did something more concentrated because he was experimenting with it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
maybe he found a way to enhance it so she could be affected because the other thing too, she went to a planet that had a red,
A
excuse me,
green sun.
a green sun, and
Mm-hmm.
she was really like that's like on a higher dosage, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
until
Yeah.
the yellow sun came into play. So, but that would be an interesting theory, like if she does have some type of immune to it, unless it's like on an extensive level.
Yeah, I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit. Like, how is she the only survivor? I mean, and there had to be
And
other
well, and crypto
children that were
too,
born. You
and,
know,
and crypto too.
yeah,
Crypto didn't get it.
no, that's why I was like, it's. I don't know. I just think, just thinking to myself, I was like, man, if all those Kryptonians survived, why didn't they just get out of that bubble and fly to where they needed to go?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe I'm thinking too much. Maybe I'm thinking too literal because I'm like, all of y'all are Kryptonians. Like, if y'all fly past a yellow sun, y'all all have the strength to literally fly to wherever you want to be safely.
well,
Like, what's going on here?
keep in mind, I don't know if they know they have powers unless they go to a planet like Earth, because remember, Superman
Yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. That
said,
makes sense.
says to his cousin, "Oh, by the way, your powers are going to kick in
Right
right."
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they did the cutscene.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. But I'm man, just to see a planet that's so technologically advanced to go out the way that Krypton goes out, it
Yeah.
always surprises me and bothers me at the same time.
Well, we've seen it in history though, where certain empires, get too big for their britches, and so into
Yeah.
their into well, we are so intelligent, so smart. Something like that would never happen. We would see it coming, and then it's like you're not even noticing the signs right now. You think
Yep.
I'm the maniac, and
Yep.
you're the intellectual one, and then what happened?
Yep. They end up destroying themselves or something destroys them. Yeah.
I wonder what or who did.
Yep. But no, all in all, I thought the film was I thought it was all right. I really did. I thought it was all right. I thought they did good for what they did.
Oh yeah.
Um
No, I think it's a very good film. I definitely would recommend seeing an IMAX just so you could have a true appreciation for the special effects and the flying scenes, because
mhm.
and then the music. The music was
The
just
music is beautiful. Yeah.
it's just so good, and I really liked how it was unique to her. You got some of the original John Williams needle drops of the Superman theme, but it wasn't really heavy because
Mhm.
they know that it does tie into each other. But yeah, I thought this film was fantastic. Like I said, I love the story, I love the characters. I thought I love Jason Momoa as Lobo, like very ideal casting for him. You and I were talking about this uh before we went on air, and I want to talk about it now. My impression was, now knowing that this guy is not in the comic book, but how they set it up in the trailer, for some reason my brain wants to, oh, are they going to have to team up to try to take this group out because of how they're intersecting? And then you were like, no, Jen, absolutely not.
You're like, no, that's not even in Lobo. That's not even in his character to team up with Supergirl. Like, he's there to do his job. Once his job is done, he saw her get shot with the. He saw her get, you know what I'm saying, was getting beat up. He didn't give a damn she was getting beat up. He was
That's
like,
true.
where's the dude that I came here to look for? I need to cut his head off, get back on my bike, and I'm gonna hit the, you know what I'm saying, hit the highway.
He was impressed with Eve's character where she was pretending
When
to
she
break
caught
it.
the dude, yeah, when she lured him into the cell,
Yeah, when she was
yeah,
really was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, and then I was like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
and he's like,
Hey,
yes.
little Eve can fight, and they didn't give her.
Nope.
They didn't give her,
They
because it was
underestimated
Supergirl's
her
movie. They didn't give
too.
her a lot of fighting scenes, because I mean they did really pick a little girl. Now, granted, in the comic book, she's an alien. Not saying that this young girl, of course, is an alien, but she's not an alien. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine, but I think they could have gave her a little bit more scenes, because her acting in that to lure the guy to come into the cell, and then she gets him, trips him up, makes him fall into a spike. Now that part, kind of, for
Again,
her
man,
age,
you have
yeah.
been warned by us
But then
multiple
Lobo
times.
over there cheering, like, I knew you was a savage the whole time.
Like, you
I knew you
really
had
like,
it in you.
yes,
Yeah. He was like,
yes.
and then she was getting ready to leave him, and Lobo was like, wait a minute, you gonna leave me in the cell? Like, what's
And
up
she
with
went,
that?
fine.
Yeah.
She lets him out, but
No,
then he
like,
doesn't help her either.
man, I thought the movie was all right.
Oh,
I think it could have been better? Of course, I think it could have been better. But both of these young ladies did an excellent job in leading this film. I thought they did wonderful.
everyone
And
did.
I'm glad her and Lobo didn't team up, because I would have been upset, because I was like, man, Lobo don't be teaming up with people. Like, granted, he might have helped some people just because, but he don't be teaming up.
And you still feel that way, even though that they went a completely different direction with the story for this one.
Yeah. So I mean, I enjoyed it, and this was just too cute. Where with little Crypto going around destroying everything, mess up
Yeah,
the pillows and stuff.
when she's first in Earth in the apartment, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's so little, so cute.
So cute.
We love Crypto. Yeah, man. What
What did Derpy say?
oh, on the last one, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's bait or not, but he does have resources in the business. I guess it's the last comment.
Yeah, that's the one.
This one. Okay.
Just say that man might have been casted. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now, the question is, like I stated before, because we didn't get anything at the end of this film.
Nothing.
Like I stated before, at the end of Clayface,
not a
which
darn
is
thing.
just heads up, if you all hadn't seen the preview for Clayface, it's coming out in October. It's going to be in theaters, and it's going to be
reaction on our channel. We basically literally go silent.
Yes,
and
it's going to be horror, kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, Jen, per what Derpy just said, I wonder, do we get a glimpse or at least a voice of Batman at the end of Clayface?
I would love either or. For me, I think it would be dope if you just saw a shadow of him and then cut it.
Yeah, but they did that, according to Dion, they did that on Creature Commandos, where they show you Batman up on a building and his silhouette, and then it just cut to black, and then you thought,
no, he's absolutely right. I knew the scene he was talking about, but I think to actually have that in live action in Clayface, I might get chills, to be honest.
Okay, well,
I might get chills.
Look, Derpy, I interested. I think we're all interested to see who Batman is going to be, and we're all a little perturbed right now that we still don't have a Batman film with this new DC group. yet. You know what I'm saying? Because
But Dion, but
we're
Dion,
also what's the word I'm looking for? We're also particular and greedy. Those are the words I'm looking for. We want
what
everything at
what
once.
well, let's define that. One is very particular, the other one
Uh-huh.
is very greedy, and the
Yeah.
third one is very open.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess I'm like, man, I need to know who it is. I need it all. Like, give it to me. Like, what are we waiting for? Because we got
uh,
all this stuff, man. We got the Green Lanterns coming out. We got Clayface coming out. We had Supergirl just dropped. Superman
yeah,
dropped last year. You
yeah.
had Peacemaker. He already had season 2. Like, come
And he
on
had a
now.
cameo in Superman.
And he had a cameo. So, like, what we doing? Where is
Yeah,
Batman?
it's but like what we said at the top of the show, it's very interesting that James is keeping all the cards to his chest because it's making us more curious of, well, what is he doing?
Yeah.
He's not showing anything. So honestly, from a marketing perspective, and Dion can probably talk more about this than I can, but I actually think that's a great
Yeah,
marketing
it
twist
is.
because it's you're building suspense. You're keeping me curious by like, okay, well, we got a funny end credit scene at Superman, but now we're getting nothing
Nothing.
with Supergirl, and then I'm going to assume, unless he proves me wrong, nothing in Lanterns at
That's why
the
I'm
end.
like, nothing. We
Yep.
got like
Not
nothing.
even not even a sound bite. Not even a sound bite.
Like that's what tripped me out. Like we get her at the end of Superman. Like come in, hey, give where's my dog? Get her dog, and she gonna do her. You know what I'm saying? Go do her thing. The thing is, when she came in at the end of Superman, didn't she have her? Didn't she have her Supergirl outfit on?
She did. She did.
Hmm. I don't know. Okay, but it just I'm like, man, why? Why didn't they give us anything at the end of this movie? I'm gonna be thinking about that until Clayface comes out.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting to see, if because the other avenue of possibility is because we got a funny end credit scene with Mr. Terrific and Superman at the end,
Yeah,
which I thought was okay.
cute. It
It
was
was
cute.
cute. Like between the two character demands, I'm like, that's funny. He's like, oh, man, why am I such a goober? And I'm like,
Yeah,
the fact that you called yourself a goober,
it
Clark.
was cute. But we get
Yeah,
nothing at the end of this though, which is like I said, it's
nothing.
okay. And of course, we look forward to seeing Millie Alcock as Supergirl for many more films
Yeah,
and things. But
she's she's phenomenal. I really loved her performance in this.
so,
I can't wait to see more of her in this character.
with that being said, Jen,
Sure.
what do you rank it out of 5 flames? What do you give it?
Ooh, out of five flames, I'm gonna give it 4.5 flames only because I haven't read the original source material,
Okay.
and going off of everything you shared with us on the episode today, I'm really curious to see the rest of the story so I can see all of the differences
Hmm.
in the film. But yeah, I'm gonna give it 4.5 flames for me.
So I'm gonna give it 3.5 flames.
Okay.
Acting was good. I
Yes.
think the story was lacking. Uh, I
Okay.
enjoyed.
I want to
Go
jump.
ahead.
I want to jump on that. What do you think it needed where you
I
thought it was
think it needed to
lacking?
lean more into the source material, like we always talk about.
That's true. That's our saying around here.
So, like I said, the POV of Supergirl, the movie coming from Supergirl's POV, that's fine. But I wanted more of the POV coming from the young lady, and her feelings on losing her entire family, on trying to find someone to help her. How did she train? What got her to the point where she can even fight these people that are so much bigger than her? You
That's
know what
a
I'm saying?
Oh no, that's a great point. Like you have her in the scene where she is so shocked and shook at what just happened in her own home, and her home being burned down, because at the end of the film she tells Supergirl, I'm going to go live with my aunt and start making
Mm-hmm.
swords like my father and honor his
Mm-hmm.
memory and his legacy and keep that technique and tradition going. But yeah, I think that's a great question. It's like, how does she get there where she wants
Yeah.
to do revenge. How does she know how to use the sword? Was she already training with Daddy when they were making
Mm-hmm.
swords, as also a way to train her to protect herself by but also testing to make
Mm-hmm.
sure the sword was legit? Which
Like and in this movie, they gave you none of her story. It was like, here's this little girl, her family died. Now all of a sudden she shows up with this beautiful sword and made by this famous sword maker.
I loved the sound of the sword. Like that,
Yeah,
like in my ear at the movie theater, I was like, oh, that's nice.
like watching Blue
Woo!
Eye Samurai.
Yeah,
Every
yes.
time he struck that meteorite, that blue
Woo!
meteorite, it made that
That
sound, and you were like, I
sounds.
cannot wait until she makes a sword with that.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, she made man. She pulled that sword out on old boy. Ooh, cut off his top knot. I was like, yeah, you fucking with the right one.
Yeah, like that's another show you and I could talk about, because you told me
Oh
about it.
yeah,
And I went and I watched it right away. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, this is good.
Which was if you have not seen the Blue Eye Samurai on
It's not
Netflix,
for children.
it's not for children, but it's absolutely
No,
phenomenal. And
not even teenagers. Let
yeah,
them be
they're
over
gonna have a
21.
yes, it's for adults, and they're gonna
Adults.
have a season 2 coming out here real soon. But
Have they even announced
season
that
one,
yet?
yeah, they did. Season 1 is available on Netflix right now. It's phenomenal. You should check it out. But yeah, I give it 3.5 flames,
Okay.
and I do have the box office numbers.
All right, so
So
I have our predictions right now. Granted, it hasn't been the full weekend yet, so
no,
this may change by Wednesday. So just to recap, when we did our live show on Wednesday, we said for domestic, Doc, you said for the first week would be 83 million. I My prediction was 80 million. So how are they doing
hmm
right now?
they made 38 million.
Okay,
So far.
38 so far. It's not the end of the
Mhm.
weekend yet.
But here's the thing: that movie costs $178 million to make. I'm sorry, $170 million to make.
Okay.
So they have to make at least 320, 353 $1 million to break even.
And we have July 4th weekend next weekend.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. So of course
so
they can get all their money back next weekend.
yeah, because
Um,
I think this is like also graduation season right now for a lot of schools, especially in
hmm
New York. Like there's a bunch of graduation parties happening. So
hmm
we'll see.
and for global,
So,
worldwide,
so you said 172 and I put
mhm,
175.
right? So far, globally, they've made 68 million.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's where we're sitting right now
Yep, and then we'll revisit these numbers on our next live show
on
this
Wednesday.
on Wednesday
Yes.
at 9:05 ish, whenever we get on. Um, so we will make sure to check in with that. But yeah, that's where we're currently at. It's like, okay, so we're tracking. I mean, it's not
They're a little behind they're a little behind, but you know what?
it's not
It,
it's
it won't take anything for them to make their money back once people start,
it's
word of
it's
mouth, getting people out to go see it.
I mean, they're not in a terrible spot either.
Mm-mm.
So I think like if more people see it, because it's also summer vacation
Yeah.
for kids. So I think it, like if people keep seeing like trickling in throughout the week and going into the next holiday weekend when more parents are off from work, it may pick up and it still may make its money back, just not in
Just
the
not right now, not in the whole first weekend, which is
yeah.
fine because that happens sometime. But
It's normal.
all in all, we think you all should go see it and check it out for yourselves.
1 million
Come back, drop some comments in our comment section, and let us know what you think about it.
please, please. Yeah, and then we are here, as we said, every week on Wednesdays, All Star Fandom Prime at 9:05 p.m. ish. We always show up in the words of Dion. We're here. We're here.
We are here.
So for all your latest fandom news, so like we said, we're going to revisit the numbers for Supergirl on Wednesday to see how they basically even out, if it picks up or if it stays right where it is. It'll be really interesting.
hmm
So please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you are primed to never miss a live video or upload from us here on All Star Fandom. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up really soon, especially in September,
Yes.
that we're excited to let
Yes,
you
yes.
all in on very soon. Unless Doc, you got nothing else.
Nope. Until next time, we out this thing. Peace.
Peace. Later.